Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Mount and Blade Bannerlord, and I'm going to be showing you the 10 best capes or shoulder armors. They're called capes in the game, but most of them aren't capes, so I call them shoulder armors in the game. And so these are going to be the ones that offer you, usually it's going to be body and arm protection, but it depends on the individual piece of armor. Some of them only offer one or the other. Obviously the 10 best ones are going to offer both of those, but yeah, let's just go through them all. Now the ranking for this is going to be a combination of your body and arm armor is going to be the core, and the only other thing that matters is if there's like a tie in that. Once you've added those up, if there's a tie, then I consider the weight, because I'd rather have light armor that offers the same protection than heavy armor. I don't take looks into account. And unfortunately, as is the case with all of the armor and weapon videos that I'm doing here, the game is random. You can't just go to a certain place and buy this or find it hidden in a chest in the woods or whatever. You have to just try to do it. So I will say the culture where you most, like I'll tell you when we do each piece, which culture you most frequently find this piece of armor being used by, whether that's by their troops or their lords and ladies or whatever. And sometimes you can marry someone and take it from them, but other times you just have to keep killing people from that, like defeating armies from that faction, and eventually, hopefully, you'll get it in your inventory after you've defeated them in battle. So I wish I could be more specific and help you with how to get these pieces of armor, but I can't. So let's just start off at number 10 and go through them all. So starting us off in the number 10 place, we have the scale shoulder guards. And now these are a bit of an enigma in the game because I've found them in vanilla game. There's two different varieties of these kind of newer scale looking shoulder armors that we found in the game. One of them's the best overall, but I don't see any troops. Like, I've gone through the whole troop trees and I don't think I saw any troops that use it by default, and I don't think I've seen any lords use it, but I have gotten it as a result from battles. Be that as it may, I can't exactly say what culture I think they're supposed to belong to, but I would guess either Britannia or Sturgia, and the reason I guess that is because they kind of fit the best with those styles of armor, for one thing, and for another thing, I'm pretty sure that I was fighting wars with the Britannians and Sturgians when I found these in the game. That being said, like I said, the number 10 spot is the scale shoulder guards. We have a weight of 1.4 kilograms for these. They are tier 4 armor. Again, it says cape, but that's your like shoulder armor in general. Body armor of 16 and arm armor of 8 for these. So they pair together rather well to be a lot of protection. They offer quite a lot of protection for you. So if you want to build a good suit of armor, you cannot forget to make sure you have a good cape slash shoulder armor. So like I said, the scale shoulder guards take the number 10 spot. And if you want to get your hands on these, to the best of my knowledge, you gotta fight in the Britannian or the Sturgian territory. Next up at number 9, we have an Imperial piece of armor, and it is the decorated leather harness over mail. This one I've actually found quite a lot in my most recent playthroughs, so I don't think it's very rare. Obviously, since the Empire is very large, you'll usually, in most playthroughs, find yourself doing a lot of fighting against the Empire, so I think it's pretty easy to get your hands on this piece of armor, and that's how you do it. You can either find some Imperial lord or lady that is unmarried who wears this, and then marry them and, you know, get it for yourself, or you can just keep killing Imperial people until eventually one of their armies drops it, which, like I said, it happens a lot for me, so I'm guessing it's not that rare. As far as the stats on the decorated leather harness over mail go, we have a weight of 11.2 kilograms. It is tier 4 armor. We have 16 for body armor and 10 for arm armor, so pretty solid overall. Definitely adds to any suit of Imperial armor to make it considerably stronger, even if it makes it look a little funny. Yeah, that is number 9, the decorated leather harness over mail. At number 8, we have the reinforced scale pauldrons, which are a piece of Azurai armor. And now this is pretty easy to come across in the game. Obviously, if you want to get your hands on this, they are a piece of Azurai armor, so you're going to want to go look for them in the Azurai territory. I have found them available for purchase at shops, obviously usually not right away at the beginning of the game, but as the game goes on, it becomes more likely that you'll find them. But I've also found them quite a few times. Either A, there are several lords and ladies that are wearing them, so you can marry one of them and then just take them, or defeat armies and get them, because eventually you will get your hands on some that way. So as far as stats for the reinforced scale pauldrons go, we have a weight of 3.6 kilograms. They are tier 4. We get 18 body armor and 8 arm armor from these. So pretty decent protection overall, and matches quite well with the luxury scale armor, I believe, is the Azurai armor that matches very well with the reinforced scale pauldrons. But yes, the reinforced scale pauldrons take the number 8 spot. At number 7, we've got one of the most popular for heavy suits of armor in the game, the heavy lamellar pauldrons. These ones are a piece of Imperial armor, so that's the best place to look for them. That being said, sometimes you'll get your hands on them in Vlandian territory, and I've seen lords and ladies from pretty much the entire map utilizing these, so they're a pretty popular piece of shoulder armor. But like I said, I most frequently find them by defeating Imperial armies. As far as stats on these ones go, we have a weight of 3.0 for the weight right on the dot. They are tier 4. They have 17 body armor and 9 arm armor. So like I said, they look very nice and go with a lot of different styles and suits of armor, so I understand why people really like these ones. And they also offer very, very good protection. So if you want to get your hands on them, my best advice is go start wiping out the Empire, and eventually, hopefully, you'll loot some of them. So that is number 7, the heavy lamellar pauldrons. Let's move on to number 6. At number 6, we've got a piece of Vlandian armor. So really cool looking here for the most part. Large plate pauldrons. They are the ornate pauldrons with cape, I should say. Only weird thing about this one is that the cape is kind of short, so looks a little silly sometimes, especially if you have a particularly tall character. But overall, I quite like them, and like I said, these are Vlandian armor. So if you want to get your hands on these, head over to the Vlandian territory and either find yourself a person wearing them and then marry them and take them, or just start killing Vlandians as much as you can until one of them drops them. So that is how you get them. The weight for these is 1.5 kilograms. They are tier 4 armor, and then we have 15 for body armor and 12 for arm armor. So that is the ornate pauldrons with cape, which takes the number 6 spot. At number 5, right in the middle, we've got this Battanian piece of armor, the heavy warlord pauldrons. And so, as I just said, they are a Battanian piece of armor, so if you want to get your hands on these, either start fighting Battanians and hope you loot them, or find yourself a Battanian spouse who has them and then take them. I find them to actually be decently common in the game, so shouldn't be that hard to get your hands on them if you want them. As far as stats go, we have 3.4 kilograms for the weight. They are tier 5 armor, and these ones provide 20 body armor and 10 arm armor, so 30 armor overall. Pretty solid, I would say, and also they have a very unique look to them, so if you're building a lot of different vibes for your suit of armor, I think that the heavy warlord pauldrons are just one of the most unique looks you can go with. So yeah, that is number 5. Let's move on to number 4. For number 4, we have another Imperial piece of shoulder armor, the decorated leather harness over scale, and these ones have more of a gold or brass tint to them, so they definitely go with more like certain pieces of armor better than others, but they do offer really good protection, and again, they aren't that hard to get your hands on. Again, you're going to follow the same process. Either find an Imperial person wearing it that you can marry and marry them and take them, or do what I do and just kill as many Imperials as you can, and eventually one of them will drop it. And so with that in mind, stat-wise, we have 11.9 kilograms for the weight, so on the heavy end, but they are tier 5 armor, body armor of 19, and arm armor of 12, giving us a total armor of 21 for these. So very solid, definitely offers great protection, and if you're building an Imperial suit of armor, especially if it has any gold at all to it, or brass looking to it, then these definitely go very, very well with them. So yeah, that is the decorated leather harness over scale, which takes the number 4 spot. Let's move on to number 3. At number 3, we have another piece of Azurai armor, and it is the reinforced bronze scale shoulder guard. And so these ones basically look exactly the same as the reinforced scale pauldrons that we already looked at, except these ones are brass colored. And much like those ones, they're actually not that hard to get your hands on. There are a number of lords in the Azurai faction that will wear these, lords and ladies, I should say, and so you can marry your way into getting your hands on these, but they're also used by troops, and so if you slaughter a bunch of Azurai, you're eventually going to get your hands on them through battle loot. Just be patient, it takes time. I have also found them available for purchase in stores, but again, just like everything else that's high tier, not early game, it's more of a late game thing. So the stats on this, we have 5.8 kilograms for the weight. They are tier 5 armor, body armor of 20, and arm armor of 12, giving us a total armor of 22. Like I said, you find these in the Azurai territory, and they are excellent armor because they take the number 3 spot. But let's move on to number 2. At number 2, we've got, in my opinion, the best looking ones in the game. It is a Vlandian piece of armor, the reinforced ornate pauldrons. I really like the way these ones look. Like I said, in my opinion, they're the best looking in the game. And they also obviously offer some of the best protection coming in at number 2. So if you want to get your hands on these, gotta check out the Vlandian territory. Check the shops in Vlandia, defeat Vlandian armies, or try to marry your way into someone that's wearing, you know, a set of these. That's the best advice I have for getting your hands on them. As far as stats on these, we have a weight of only 2.7 kilograms, so not very heavy. They are tier 5 armor. We have 20 for the body armor and 12 for the arm armor, so once again, 22 for the total armor value, but they are lighter than the Azurai ones we just looked at, so that's why they rank higher. But yeah, like I said, you can't really beat, I should say very few pieces of armor beat the armor level that these offer for your shoulders, and I think they look the best, so you gotta love the reinforced ornate pauldrons. But that's number 2. Let's move on to the number 1 best shoulder armor in the game. And as you can see, that armor is similar to the first one we looked at. It's the scale type. And now, like I said, although as far as I know, there aren't any troops in the game that wear it, or any lords that by default have it, at least unless I missed them while I was looking through. But I have also gotten these organically through the game by just killing lots of troops, and eventually I got some in my inventory. And so the reinforced ornate pauldrons over scale take the number 1 spot. Most often, I'm pretty sure you find these either in the Sturgian territory or the Battanian territory. Like I said, unfortunately, I wasn't paying super close attention when I was able to loot some in my game, but I know I was fighting either the Sturgians or Battanians when I got them. So the weight on these is 2.9 kilograms. The armor tier is 6, so they're obviously top tier armor. They offer 22 body armor and 12 arm armor, so that's a total of 34 total armor, so it is edged out as the best shoulder armor in the game. And that being said, I think I might have accidentally said the wrong number for the last two. If I said 22 for the last two, just ignore that stupidity on my part. I meant 32. But anyway, the reinforced ornate pauldrons over scale taking the best spot, like I said, with 34 overall armor. I'm pretty sure that you can either get these in the Battanian or the Sturgian territory. If anyone else has better details than that, let me know down in the comment section, because I just can't remember. And there wasn't enough information online for me to make a determined decision about where you are supposed to find both these and then the scale shoulder guards, which were the number 10 place. But yeah, they offer excellent protection. I think they look pretty good. Not as good as the reinforced ornate pauldrons. I think they look better, but definitely a solid piece of armor that offers great protection and looks really good. And that is it for shoulder armor. If you want to build yourself a suit of armor that has excellent stats and looks good in most cases, then those are the 10 best capes, as the game would say, or as I would say, just shoulder armor that you can get your hands on. So with all that in mind, I hope this video was entertaining and or useful, but that's all for today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.